Let's talk about stories and perspectives. Isn't everything a story? We're made up of stories and different viewpoints and perspectives. And lately, what I've been feeling is that there's so much more that we don't ever talk about. And it would be so much more interesting if instead of trying to keep it straight, pretend that we're grown-ups and stick to some well-trodden path, trying so desperately to fit in. If we forgot about all that and allowed ourselves to be who we are and explore and move from one story to the other. In the same way we watch this movie tonight and another the next day. And surely there would be a lot of uncertainty that comes with that. But at the same time, so much freedom. But maybe it is true that it's not for everyone. Because it also takes a lot of courage to step into the unknown, to explore a different story for yourself, to be willing to let it go if at one point you realize it doesn't serve you anymore, and to do it over and over again and keep changing and transforming and shedding skin after skin after skin until you grow into the person you've always wanted to be. And maybe that's where the power of myth and story comes in. Or you take on this noble quest and you go battle after battle. And every time you gather up the courage and show up and win, you discover something new about yourself that changes the story you've been living in. And that's how you empower yourself over time. And the enemy that you fight is never something outside of you, but simply an embodiment of your own self-imposed limitations. And once you decide to set foot on that exciting journey inside of yourself and explore everything that you're made of, it takes a lot of perseverance, determination, focus, and also compassion, vulnerability, sense of humor, to keep going, to never stop exploring. To keep recreating that adventure and seeing with new eyes. To unlock more and more of your hidden potential. To self-actualize yourself. To know, to truly know who you are. And become that limitless being. And of course you get scars and bruises and you fall down. And sometimes it's hard to gather the will to go on. But at the same time, there's always help that appears at the right time. And once you recover, it's even more gratifying. It makes life worthwhile to live your own grand, epic adventure and be the hero of your own story instead of fitting into somebody else's simply because you could. They wanted you to. You were comfortable. Somebody else told you that that's your story. You can't move away from it. Or it was easier to watch other people and their stories and criticize them from afar instead of taking the steps of carving your own path and making the mistakes necessary that are actually the learning steps. And what if it's all about that? To come and create our own stories that are all meant to be different from one another. And in the same way, everybody that knows you will have a different story to tell about you because you exhibit different parts of yourself with different people, and that's how you get to know yourself, through your relationship with the people in the world. What if that's symbolic for the universe and God? And how else will it know itself but through us and our stories? And what if the potential of storytelling and perspectives is truly unlimited? And it's like a kaleidoscope. Every time you move, everything rearranges, changes. And what if everything in your personal story is like this? And based on the timeline you decide to experience, it keeps shifting and changing. And if you set a certain focus and you keep it in focus and determination, little by little, you reach that destination. And when you look back, you see how everything in the past led you to it. And all of a sudden, your future is what you imagined it to be. Because you were certain that you were going to reach that destination, and you never wavered. And you knew that you're the captain of your ship, the master of your soul. And what if you never try?